Hey guys, it's Jake here with eTrailer. Today we have a 2024 Ford Maverick and we're going to be taking a look at and I'm going to show you how to install the Roadmaster Diode Wiring Kit for flat towing. Adding diodes to your Ford Maverick is going to allow you to accurately transfer the lighting signals from the back of your motorhome to the back of your truck. You can think of this, the best example is if you're pulling a trailer behind your motorhome, you're going to have lights because the contents on that trailer may block the lights on your motorhome. Same goes for your Ford Maverick. If somebody's following behind you on the highway, they're not going to be able to see the taillights on your motorhome because your Ford Maverick is blocking them. So in order to accurately give other people what your intentions are on the road, if you're wanting to change lanes or make a right turn or left turn or stop, you have to have the taillights on your Ford Maverick do exactly what your taillights on your motorhome are doing. There's a couple of different products out there on the market that are going to do the same job that these do, except they're going to do it in a little bit different way. And by that I mean they're going to mount different. Your lights, you're going to have to tap into the back of your lights. One is going to be magnetic lights, which I don't really care for because you have to stick them to the outside of your vehicle. So if your vehicle's not clean, then you risk scratching your vehicle. The other thing is with the magnetic lights, you're going to have to run them up and over top of your truck to plug it into the back of your motorhome, and you have to do that every single time you go to flat tow your truck. The other option is going to be a bulb and socket, which installs on the back side of the taillight. I really don't like those because you have to drill holes in the backs of your taillights, and if those ever come loose or you don't get them sealed back up properly, they can introduce water to the equation, and you don't want that to happen. The diodes themselves are going to tap into your factory wiring, so whenever you are flat towing your vehicle, it's going to take the lighting signals from your motorhome, and then whenever you're not flat towing your vehicle, it's just going to use the signals from the vehicle to tap or to display the functions on the back of your taillights. Now what you're going to get in this kit is you're going to get your 4 diodes, which will install behind your taillights. You're going to get your 4-pole wiring, which will go from the 6-pole in your front of your truck all the way back to your taillights. You're going to get that 6-pole in this kit, and you're going to get the 7 to 6-pole umbilical cord that connects the motorhome to the front of your truck. If you have a tow bar that already has the wiring included in it, or if you already have your wiring, you may just need to pick up a separate 6-pole plug and then the kit that just has the 4-pole wire and the 4 diodes in it. So you just want to make sure that you get the right kit and you don't have a bunch of extra parts. What I recommend is checking your umbilical cord. If you're due for a new one, go ahead and pick up this kit. It'll include all the parts you need to get this installation done. Now speaking of the installation, I'd say probably the hardest part about this install is going to be running a 4-pole wire from the front of your truck to the back to get it tapped into those taillights. But other than that, it's really easy to get everything connected. The 6-pole plug is easy to wire up, but hopefully with my help here in a little bit, we'll watch that installation and you can get yours installed too. To begin our installation, we'll need to run our 4-pole wire from the front of our vehicle to the back. The one exception is you want to be careful on, depending on what braking system you're going to be putting in your Ford Maverick, you may have to put a loop up inside the engine bay. We're installing the Demco Stay and Play Duo, so we will have to tie into the this 4-pole wire. So we ran a loop up inside the engine bay. You just want to bring the end of it, one end down here, and we just tied it off so that we can connect it to our 6-pole plug later. You might see that red wire in there. This is a great time to run your charge line too, because all 5 of these will get connected to our 6-pole together. And we just zip tied it along the way. I threw some wire loom on here. It just helps everything to look a little bit cleaner, more factory. Ran it up here, have this small little hump in here so that we have more than enough space to be able to connect up to it for our braking system, and then ran it back down and underneath our vehicle. Our wiring just came out right here. We looped it inside of this felt panel here, and then there's some push pin fasteners on the bottom and some 10mm head nuts that we just took this edge of this panel down, ran our wiring back in here, all the way back, and then it came out right here. I ran it up, tied it off to existing wiring with a couple of zip ties. Don't be afraid to use some. And then we've got it looped down right here, ready to pull up into the driver's side taillight cavity. Up by our taillight, we'll grab an 8mm socket, get the 2 screws that are holding our taillight in place removed. And the taillight, you just should be able to just rotate it out. And then we'll unplug this plug here on the bottom. We've got our wires exposed here. We've tested them out. The purple wire is going to be our running light signal, and the white wire with the green stripe is going to be our stop and turn. We've got our 4-pole pulled up into the taillight housing now. When I take my strippers here, I cut those 2 wires, and you want to strip back the ends of each one of them. I will take 4 of the blue ones, and we're going to put them on the ends of each one of these wires. Now we're going to take our wiring. You can cut this to length, and what I always like to do is I'll stretch it out as far up as our factory wiring can go, and maybe go an inch or 2 higher, and we're going to cut it right here. We're going to cut the white, brown, and yellow, and we're going to not cut the green because it needs to go over to our passenger side of our vehicle anyway. So we'll peel these off. The yellow wire I've got stripped back. We put one of those blue spade terminals on there. Then the brown wire, this one will be a little different from all of our other connections. You'll strip it back. This is the one that is going to the taillight from the rest of our wiring. And we've got this jumper wire that we need to tie in with it. That is why you get one yellow spade terminal out of all of the other blue ones. It's designed to fit 2 wires in there. We'll get that crimped down. Now take one of your diodes. We'll start with our running light signal. It doesn't rightly matter, but you just don't want to get these confused. So since we're working on the running light signal, we'll take our purple wire. That'll also go to the inside, and the only wire that gets hooked to the out is the one going back out to the taillight. Now with our white wire, we've got a ring terminal put on it. You do get one in your kit. I've got the self-tapper. We're going to run this into our sheet metal here. You want to be very careful when running these into this thinner metal, because you can strip these out and then the ring terminal is going to move. Now with our driver's side done, we're going to take our green and brown wire, route it over to our passenger side, get it pulled up inside, and we'll meet you over there. Now if you don't have enough brown wire to get over to the passenger side, that shouldn't surprise you because we had to pull it up and come back down. There should be enough green wire to be able to run it straight over there. Just use your extra white wire, splice it in with your brown wire, and then on the passenger side, you will have a panel that you have to drop down. It's just going to be 7mm head screws. Just pry it open. That'll give you enough space to be able to route it along the back side of the bumper and up into the taillight housing. We've got our connections made. It's the same thing as on the driver's side, except this white wire may confuse you a little bit. That is the, like we just showed you down there, the extension for a brown wire, so it's our running light signal. You'll connect that into the white wire with the orange stripe, and then on the stop and turn signal, you want to use the purple wire or the lavender wire with the purple stripe. If it makes it any easier, it's the same 2 spots on the top of this plug as it is on the driver's side. To get our 6-pole connected up, the red wire is your charge line. If you're putting one in, which I highly recommend it with the Ford Maverick, you want to put that in the center post. And then all along the outside, starting at the top pin, which is, you can use your lid as a reference. The top pin is going to be your brown wire, then white wire, then yellow wire, then your green wire. It'll be counterclockwise. This last one here is typically used for a brake line or a brake wire, which we're obviously not going to be using for this installation. To test out our lighting functions, you want to plug your vehicle into the back of your camper or your motorhome and go through these signals. We'll start with our taillights, our left turn, our brake lights, and our right turn. Once you know everything's working properly, that's going to do it for our installation. Well guys, hopefully this video helped you decide whether or not the Roadmaster Diode Wiring Kit for flat towing is right for you in your 2024 Ford Maverick.